How are we doing today, everybody? I wanted to do a consumer's review for the Nokia Lumia 1520. This is exclusively for AT&T. There's a lot of videos on YouTube right now telling you about the specs and whatnot of this device, and I just wanted to kind of give you my input on the device from a consumer standpoint. So with that being said, I have never owned a Windows phone before. I've owned multiple Apple devices as well as multiple Android devices. So I have kind of seen all sides of the spectrum. Oh, let me actually add in there, I've actually owned multiple BlackBerry devices as well. Now I'm not a heavy texter, I'm not a gamer. I just use the phone more or less for YouTube, I use it for eBay a lot, for the camera, for navigation, and for, of course, phone calls. Not to say that I don't do any of the things I stated I don't do, but just not on a heavy spectrum. So with that being said, first Windows phone, and I absolutely love it. Everything about this phone I like. 6-inch screen. It is a little big for my preferences, but not to the point where I would get rid of the device. It's right there. If it got any bigger or any thicker, it would not feel comfortable in my pocket. Now I don't wear like skinny jeans or anything like that, because obviously I don't think they would even fit in the pocket. It's going to hang out of the back pocket a little bit. But the thing that I like about this compared to Android and compared to Apple is right off the get-go, you can pretty much have all the apps that you would normally have that you have to scroll through. Your main ones you can have on just one screen. It makes it very convenient for daily use. Very convenient. The next thing I like to add is you can remove all AT&T bloatware right away. There's no jailbreaking, there's no rooting. You just simply delete the bloatware. So all the software on there is particularly what you want. It shows everything you want on here. This thing is absolutely fast. It's extremely fast. Email is extremely fast. The app market could be a little better. I'm not going to say it's poor. It's definitely over, let's say, like the BlackBerry world right now. It's better than that. It's not up to standards with Apple or with Android, but it has majority. I'm not a huge app user, and it has the majority of all the apps that I generally use on Apple and on Android. Now you can see like Instagram beta. I'm not for sure how long ago that took for that to actually come out, but apparently it's pretty new on here. It has most of your banking apps, your eBay, your Facebook. What I like the best is the Microsoft Office and how easy it is just to connect it to your computer if you own a desktop and just transfer files. You don't have to use iTunes. It's very easy. Let's get to the camera. The camera is unreal. I wish I was actually using it right now for the video. I'm using my iPad mini, which is definitely lacking in the video camera department, as well as the iPhone, as well as most all Galaxy devices as well, in my opinion. I have had the Galaxy Note 3. Had that for about 2 or 3 weeks, and I sold it. I just wasn't that happy with it. This, I think I'm going to stick with it for some time. Another thing that's really cool, you can see I just activated it right there, is Cortana. Better than Siri, better than Google Now, in my opinion. I mean, it is on point. It takes you everywhere you want to go. You can have an appointment. You can actually have it notify you while you're doing things. It's so on point. One thing that I'm not a big fan about, how it runs on Internet Explorer. With that being said, you can always download other browsers, but the stock device runs on Internet Explorer, and Cortana runs on Bing, which is I'm also not huge about, but it's not Google, which I'm used to, but it does the job. It gets everything I need done. I have noticed that sometimes when people send me videos or images through email or through text, you have to kind of go around some corners in order to save them to your device. just because of the, I guess, the file type that they're saved on Apple. But on an overall consumer standpoint, I think this phone is definitely a great phablet. It gets everything it needs to be done. I've been on it all day, and you can see I still have half battery. I probably have been getting, I'd say 25 hours on one battery charge. I mean, the battery life is insane. I do a lot of YouTube videos. I do a lot of eBay sales, pictures. Not much gaming, which really usually generally drains it. But I'm on the device quite a bit. So that's just something to keep in mind for those who might be thinking about switching to a Windows device. In my opinion, it's definitely a good step for Windows. You can see the back of the phone also. It's just really nice looking. If it wasn't so big, I would love it. You can see in my hand, it's a pretty big device. So it does make two-hand use sometimes something you have to use. It's hard to whip it out of the pocket real quick and just use your thumb, because generally your thumb's not going to be able to reach to the top of the screen. I have pretty, I would say, medium-sized hands, and a lot of things have to be done two-handed. One more thing I'd like to kind of point out too, if you click on Internet Explorer, see the browser search bar is down at the bottom, which makes this very convenient for searching with one hand. If you're able to somewhat rock the phone in your hand to a comfortable level, the matte design on the back of the phone helps it not slip out of your hand. You can actually search with just one hand. If this was to be on the top, like I downloaded Google Chrome, their search bar was on the top. So with two hands, I was using the browser that I generally like to use, but it lacked for the size of the device with the browser search bar at the bottom, which makes it very, very convenient. So that's a little bit of some tips on if you're thinking about maybe switching to a Windows phone from Apple or Android. I think it's a big step. Hopefully they will continue putting out devices this strong with specs. I didn't really talk about specs too much on here. You can look all those up. I mean, this is a monster device in terms of speed, camera, and just overall. If it was me on a consumer standpoint, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give this device a 9. And I've used all the Galaxy S devices, all the way back from the Captive 8, all the way up to the Note 3. Used all the S4, S5. I've used a lot of Motorola devices. I've used all of from Apple iPhone 3S. I've used from that all the way up to the 5S now. So I've used I've used so many devices, and I love this device, just to keep that in mind. Alright, please subscribe to my channel. I also do videos on luxury timepieces, jewelry. I'll probably do some clothing, designer type reviews as well. So please stay tuned. Carbon Concepts.